Welcome to another episode of Ring Walk Boxing Podcast. I am Bean, and today I got a special guest hailing out of Texas, the young bro, the guru, there's Scoby,
Oh, wow. Thank you,
ladies and
brother.
gentlemen. So make sure y'all please hit that thumbs
Like,
up on here,
subscribe.
share on your social media.
Let's get
Actually,
to
I'm going
1,000. We got
to.
it. We got to get my man to 1,000.
Yeah, we real close. We is really close, y'all. Really close to 1,000 for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and share this link to my Twitter and my Facebook. So matter of fact, when I share it to me, I'll tag it. I'll tag you on it.
All
So let
right,
me try
brother.
to do that real quick. And just for the viewing audiences, I'm not the most tech savvy, but I'm getting it. Hey, Cuzzo, greetings, fam.
What's
Greetings
up? What's
back to
up?
you. So let's see. Get this link uploaded real quick. All right, to my friends on Twitter, I got this link coming. Twitter, aka X, it is posted, and Facebook on the way. And I'm gonna tag Dead Scoby on this one. Okay, it's being shared on Facebook now. If you have any issues on Facebook with the link, let me know so I can make any alterations that need to be made. All right, y'all. So that's shared on Facebook. Let me tag a few people in the comments. All right. So let's talk about. Did you get a chance to see the middle? I believe it was middleweight division fight with Ladard and Tyler Denny?
No, I didn't catch that one. I didn't. I only catch. I caught Omari Jones fight with Gonzalez in the main event. I was
Okay,
mainly watching Pro Box.
gotcha. Okay, so I'll just talk a little bit about it. So basically, to kind of give you an idea of what I took from the fight. So you got George Liddard of UK record, 14 wins, no losses, no draws, 57% KO ratio. Tyler Denny, 21, 4-3 with just one knockout. But it was a lot of toe-to-toe action in this particular
Was
fight.
this for the Was this for the Commonwealth and Lonsdale belt?
I do believe it was for
Okay,
Commonwealth.
that. All right. I'll say this about it. I don't even have to see the fight or know who these guys are to know this was a cracker because in Europe and Mexico, mainly Europe and Japan, their domestic level system is spotless. If you see two domestic level fighters in Europe, where no matter what country, or Japan, if they're fighting, if you got two Japanese fighters fighting for the OPBF belt, those two fighters are going to be fighting for world titles. Not just the winner, but both of them. Both of those guys are going to be top 15, top 10 ranked guys. Same with if you got two guys fighting for the Lonsdale Commonwealth belt, they're going to be BBFC belt. They're going to be both of them are going to be in title fights. Billy Joe Saunders versus Chris Eubank Jr. was for BBFC, Lonsdale, and all that. And what? Both of them title fights for their entire career. They've been in the top. George Groves, James DeGale, both of those guys, championship fights. Joe Joyce and Daniel Dubois, both of them top 10 championship fights. So America is like the only country, I say Mexico too, where just because you're the regional or domestic champion doesn't mean you're necessarily a top 10 contender. But in Europe and Japan, though, when they're those domestic level guys, when they become the best, they're ready.
That's what's up, man. Thanks for enlightening folks, y'all. Listen, this young man got a lot of game when it comes to boxing. And one thing about me, I'm a student of the sport all the way around the board. So I take a lot of heed to what everybody brings to the table. We have so many different opinions. Shout outs to Cam J, Jack Quinn, and everybody, Mike Ware. And we
2
just
Cents,
like
Be More,
2
shout out
Cents,
to all
all of
those
them.
guys.
Yeah, all of them. So, all right, let's talk
I
a
know
little
Denny
bit
won,
about.
right?
Yeah, so what ended up being the outcome of that was that Denny lost, and Litter won by a unanimous decision. But it was a lot of toe-to-toe action. You can go back and run the highlights, man. They going back and forth and they digging in, man. They both was like digging in. Actually, I want to say round one or maybe round two. Um, Tyler Denny got buzzed. He got caught with something. He was kind of buzzed or whatever, but he got back in there and just didn't miss a beat. Like they was like right in the center of the ring most of the time, just going crazy, bro.
What weight class is this?
Middleweight.
160? Okay. I can see one of those guys. I can see them fighting Adamas next, maybe, or depending on what Laura wants to do, maybe Laura. I know Aline Hamdullah is dealing with sanctioning issues. You know, WIBF stripped them. I don't believe the WBO will strip them because they've only stripped 2 champions for PEDs ever. Lucas Brown, when he became champion against Ruslan Chagayev, and then Billy Joe Saunders. Well, he didn't get stripped when he popped hot against Demetrius. He just gave it up. He knew they were going to strip, so he just gave it up. So they're not going to strip him. WBO's kind of weird. WBO and WBC are kind of weird when it comes to doping and stuff like that. Sometimes they be trying to get guys caught, but other times they let it slide. Like Munguia, like he popped dirty, but he's getting a title shot next. Only in boxing.
Right, right. So shout outs to somebody new, man. Shout outs to CJK Denoff. Salute to you. And since you brought it up, we're gonna go ahead and talk about it. Me and Dez will talk about it. But let me know your opinion in the chat as well. So what do you feel about the Keith Thurman and one-time Keith Thurman and Sebastian Fundora?
Well, for Fundора's, you remember Paul Williams? Probably not. Maybe Paul Williams.
Yeah, kind of tall, rangy. The one that everybody wanted Floyd to fight, but it never got to happen.
Floyd did not want to fight that man.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he didn't ever want to smoke.
Paul and Fundora are similar in the sense of they don't think, they just fight. They throw. I'll say that Paul had more. If you take Paul's IQ away and gave him more power, that's Fundora.
Okay.
Because Paul would fight outside in. Well, Paul could do everything. He could fight inside, outside, mid-range. He could counter punch. He could fight off the jab. He could just throw. He could just fight you. So Paul was very, very well-rounded. So, like, I would say if you took away the IQ from Paul and gave him more power, that's Fundora. But you still beat them the same way. When you got guys that throw 40, 50 punches around, there's only 2 ways to really beat guys like that. You either have to go to Shane Mosley approach, and you have to initiate offense, and then as soon as you're done, you got to hold.
So what do you think about the reply there? He says, I got Thurman by decision.
I think Thurman's going to try and use body head. I see Thurman using a lot of jabs to the body at first to get the guard to come down and trying to either he's operating all the way on the inside or all the way on the outside. But I don't think Thurman got the feet to get out. He was never a slick guy. He always had good enough feet to move out of the way. But at this age and at this weight, he hasn't. His last 3 fights, he ain't moved. Well, he hasn't really fought anybody where he had to move. He fought Barrios. You ain't got to move on him. He fought, Brock. He didn't have to move on him. So I want to say Fundora. Fundora's a safe bet because the main issue is can Keith still take a shot? Can he recover well? His recovery was what made him world class also, because he could take a shot, but he could get hurt. But the fact of you couldn't keep him hurt, that was the thing about Keith. Like you could buzz him, you could even rock him, but you weren't gonna get him off his feet like that, or you weren't gonna get him backpedaling for long.
Yeah, that good recovery, that good way of
really great recovery.
How Holyfield used to be when he would take shots. He'd be like, how do you bounce back from this? You know what I'm saying?
Well, Holyfield, he was just different. Holyfield was different, and also a lot of people don't know. Like, I consider Tank like a modern day Holyfield to a degree, just because of they both don't start fighting. They both didn't start fighting until rounds 3, maybe 4. For different reasons. I felt it was though for Holyfield is because he has fast hands, so trying to maintain stamina throughout the fight. He was always a counter puncher. He was a combo puncher. So he's throwing 4 or 5 punches in a row. You can't do that a full 12 rounds unless you got amazing stamina. So I figured he was always trying to see, as they say, collect data. Where can I throw my shots? Where can I get off? Tank does the same thing, but Tank don't throw in combinations. He's more of a 1-2, maybe a 3 guy. You know what I'm saying? But I think Tank waits because power takes energy. And I don't see, and Tank's not a George Foreman puncher. He's not a tap knockout guy. There has to be some force, some oomph, some explosiveness in his shots. I see Tank like a Tyson punch.
Right. Now the young brother right here that's commenting again, he said Fundora not ready. Thurman got way too much experience. Fundora a bad man though. What you say to that? He thinks Fundora not
is
ready.
Nice. To beat somebody like Fundora, you're gonna need to be low key slick. You gotta have fast feet. You gotta have fast hands, but you gotta have respectable power in both of those hands because you need Fundora to what's the word? Hesitate. You want him to think before throwing.
Because that was one that Mendoza that knocked him out. The only person
what Mendoza did was his mentality was I'm gonna punch with you.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
because like Fundora keeps his head up when he throws. So Mendoza's mentality was I'll just punch with you. I may eat 2 or 3, but I know I'll land flush on my overhands. So his mindset was just to meet him in the middle and punch with him. Well, punch with him to get on the inside, hold, and then wait for the break. That's what Mendoza's mentality was because he knew I'm not faster. I can't outslick him. I can't make him find me. You don't want Fundora trying to find you because then it gets dangerous.
So he set that trap. Trap. Yeah.
So
the way you say it,
Thurman's really good at traps. That's what's going to help with Thurman. He's really good at traps. The only thing is, you're not going to fight Fundora and come out unscathed. So it's how much punch resistance does Thurman have left to make it happen. I'm expecting either a Thurman stoppage or a Fundora decision.
You said Thurman stoppage or Fundora decision?
Yeah.
Oh man, I like that, man. I like that.
Fundora don't know how to survive.
I've been kind of juggling with it, like you said, Thurman. I mean, at least is what he's shown in the past. He's durable. He can get buzz, but he knows how to have good recuperative powers or whatever. That's going to be a main thing that he's going to need with somebody like this. Tim Zoo, to me, looked better in the first fight. In the rematch, he just didn't look
The
like
the
he was
only
trying
the
to loosen
only
up.
issue I have with the Paulo Malignaggi said this about the first fight. The only reason Tim Zoo and his team didn't just say the blood's too much, I can't see, let's take it to the cards, is because they didn't want to mess up the Amazon show. First show for PBC on Amazon. Then the main event had to be last minute too. So not only the main event had to be last minute, and then on top of that, the main event's only 4.5 rounds. That
Mhm.
that would have been a really, really bad look. So Zoo was he was doing them a favor, really, and then got shitted on for it, pretty much.
Yeah, man. And okay, he says, I'm glad y'all talked about it. Literally, nobody been talking about it. Yeah, most people are not talking about it. There's a handful of people that we rock with that do talk about. They try to cover everything, but yeah, nobody really was talking about it. So I'm happy you mentioned it in the chat because I actually had it on my list to talk about at
It's
some
a
point.
weird fight.
It's
It's a
definitely
weird it's a weird fight because this was supposed to be Thurman Zoo, but instead we got Thurman Fundora. And Fundora makes this a weird fight because it's not often you see guys that big that fight the way he does.
right.
So
Exactly.
so people are interested to a degree, but they're skeptical because people don't want to think this is a competitive fight because if a 30 a 33 34 year old Thurman is just as good as what will be a prime Fundora, it, I think that's the thing that people don't want to mention. I think people don't want to mention, like, what if this old guy is still just as good as this prime fighter, or maybe this prime fighter was never really that good.
Right. 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 Yeah, man. Great. Great take, man. Great take. Let me make sure I can still hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay, I can hear you. I just make sure I be messing with my earpiece, make sure I didn't do anything. Okay, so that's what's up, y'all. So shout outs to both of them Warriors, Fundor and Keith Thurman, one time Thurman. I've seen a couple interviews with Thurman, and he looks very focused. I mean, I definitely feel like the mindset is there. He got a dog mentality. He's gonna give it all he's got, even if he does come up short. I can see it going to the distance just because even if he gets dropped, he gets back up. I think it's gonna be a lot of war in there. I think there's gonna be a lot of moments where
I don't see a Fundora stoppage unless the doctor stops it. I don't see Thurman quitting, and I don't see his corner trying to throw in the towel. I think, like, if it's a stoppage on Fundora's side, it's a swollen eye because Thurman does swell up. He don't cut, he swells up.
and they both are orthodox fighters, right?
No, Fundora's a southpaw.
Oh, okay. Has Thurman fought many southpaws?
He didn't fight Spence.
Oh yeah, that's definitely the one he wanted. Spencer wanted him. Yep.
That was the fight. I don't care what
That
anyone
was
say.
yeah,
That
man.
was the fight. Thurman,
That was
I
money.
was
That was
more
money.
excited for
Oh my
Thurman.
God.
Thurman Spence was more 50-50 than Crawford Spence.
Right, 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 right.
But
Very yeah.
Luis Collazo, that's the last southpaw you fought.
Okay, okay, okay.
And Collazo hurt him with a body shot in, like, round 4, round 5, like, really bad. But Thurman's been susceptible to the body. Collazo hurt him with a body shot. Danny had him backpedaling with a body shot. Sean Porter had him hurt with a body shot really bad in their fight.
For sure, man. Let's you still can hear me, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about main event next Saturday. Moses and Tuma versus Jermaine Franklin at the Co-op live in Manchester, England.
I need rounds. I need to see rounds. I need to see adversity. I need to see a Tuma get dropped. I need to see a Tuma get a cut. I need to see a Tuma deal with something. I need, not, if not drop, like Bambi legs or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Like backpedal, like some
yeah,
head snap back, something.
right,
I need to
or, or
see if he can get through some resistance.
or at least even an accidental situation like Najee Lopez, clash your heads. Get cut.
Give me, yeah, I'm like, give me a
Get,
cut. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like,
See how if he stay focused, if it doesn't bother him, if he can tune it out, what I'm saying? If he can go into that Zen mode, like.
give me a situation where he got to, oh, Moses looks kind of gas, folks. Can he find a second win? Yes. Can he get a second win? I need to know this. Like, I need to know these things. Because I remember when David Hay was coming up, everyone was saying, we don't know. We don't know. He fights Carl Thompson, gets knocked out. Everything goes out the window, and then he deals with adversity in levels. He deals with cuts from one fighter, gets dropped from another fighter, but it happens in stages. And sometimes you got to give your fighter challenges in stages. Like, look, is a 90% chance he'll get dropped in this fight, but that's the worst that'll happen. That's how you build up your fighters. Like, in my opinion, you got to put them up against opposition that hey, they might get dropped in this fight, but that's okay. That's the worst that'll happen. Or hey, they might get a headbutt, but that'll be the worst that can happen. You have them with adversity per opponent. You don't just throw them in there with a fight that's going to cut them, step on their foot, low blow them, and knock them down. Mm-hmm. You don't want to overwhelm your fighter. I think Franklin can give him rounds. I just need to see some adversity. That's all I want to see. I want to believe in Ituma, like I want to believe in Tank.
Right. Do you think that Jermaine Franklin will go the distance, or do you think Ituma will be able to stop him?
I think if Gladden went the distance with Jao Batai, then I think Franklin can go the distance with Ituma.
That'd be interesting to see his first fight to go. Somebody taking him the distance where he doesn't stop him early, so that'd be good. Definitely get the rounds in, because I like Jermaine Franklin. He's cagey. He got a good chin. He doesn't back down. He's not one of them guys that's gonna be like what's the guy, William Skull, when he ran from Canelo Alvarez. He's gonna want to bang it out with you. He's gonna want to have moments where he's in that pocket. Like he stood in the pocket with Dillian White and AJ. So I think with Ituma, he's gonna do the same. He doesn't do a lot of retreating. He wants to go in there and let loose. And I hope that he looks better, because his last fight he didn't look too good against that one guy. I think he was a Ukrainian fighter or Polish fighter. But Jermaine Franklin's last performance wasn't the best. But it could have been, ring rust or something. Maybe he was just trying to get back in it.
Franklin's the type of guy, he's gonna fight up and down to his competition. If he ain't gotta put out to win, he's not. Because he don't got a major promotion to help him pay the bills. Franklin probably got a side job to help him with training camp and stuff like that.
For sure. Well,
I remember Hank Lundy was driving UPS while still fighting for a world title against Crawford.
That's deep. So since we talk about Franklin and Ituma, since he's from UK, let's just talk about the old Lion, Anthony Joshua, since he did fight Jermaine Franklin, and it's kind of up in the air on when we'll see Fury versus AJ. But I did see footage of him with Usyk in training, which I think is pretty cool.
Iron sharpens iron.
Iron sharpens iron. That's what I'm saying. I think he would definitely help him. But I think people get the wrong perception. They think that, AJ's going to have footwork like Usyk. It's like, nah, he's too big. He's never going to ever move like him. But he can actually show him a lot of tweaks on certain stuff.
Thing about AJ, I watch a lot. I watch many interviews.
Helping with his endurance and stuff like that.
Because with AJ, people don't know this. AJ don't love boxing. Well, I can't say he don't love it. He's not a student of the game. He didn't even know who Archie Moore was.
Oh wow!
Like he didn't even know who Ingemar Johansson was.
Everybody know the old mongoose.
Like he didn't know who Ingemar Johansson was. They're like, who Ingo? He's the first ever was not Polish. Yeah, no, not Polish. I can't think, but Swedish. Fucking Swedish. He's the first ever Swedish world heavyweight champion. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're just he didn't know about history. He didn't understand about the shoulder roll, the stack shell, the crab shell. He didn't understand about something. If you notice that when he first started his career, he was doing a lot of brawler type of things, like pulling your head into the uppercut. But then after his loss, he started using the push pull counter. So he's teachable. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't finna have no footwork. Nah.
Right. Yeah. That's just something, somewhat athletic, but just ain't no person that can move all like that and upper body movement. He's just a big dude.
He's not Usyk. Usyk was a dancer.
Exactly. He could yoga and all that stuff. Like he just got that.
Lomachenko was a gymnast and a dancer. Mm-hmm. Like these were universal athletes.
Right. Let me read this chat down here. Okay. Shout outs to Mr. Pennant. Thanks for coming by. First time I ever seen you, man. Thanks. He says, does anyone think PBC will join the zone boxing?
No. Netflix. I think PBC goes in Netflix route. PBC's never if you know the history of PBC, they never played well with others.
I'm about to say they always go against the grain. They're always like their own little, you know what I'm saying? Stay
remember they went so far. I remember when they said, here are all the welterweight champions right now. It was Spence, Sean, Keith, and then it had Manny Pacquiao as the regular champion. Like, wait, where's the WBO champion Terrence Crawford? Like they were actually trying to like freeze out other promotions and fighters. You know what I'm saying? Fun fact: your Dennis Ugas was a mandatory for Crawford after at one point after he lost to Porter, he was a number one mandatory for Crawford, and Al Heyman said, "Don't take that fight. I got you. I'll take care of you. Don't worry about that." Ugas fights for a regular belt, and then ends up fighting Pacquiao. And another fun fact: Danny Garcia said no to the same offer Sean Porter accepted. Sean Porter took $4 million. Danny got offered $4 million. Danny said, "I ain't worth that. I'm worth more than that." So I think PBC goes Netflix. I think they join forces with MVP.
That makes sense. That definitely would make sense that they would do that because they're not going to. I don't see them going in with the zone and all that they got.
Especially not with Top Rank over there.
Top Rank over there, yeah. Yep, I don't see
Golden Boy.
Yep, exactly. It's not gonna happen on our watch. That's for sure.
That's not how they do business.
Facts. Now I did look at the thing on last night when I was, reading stuff with Jermaine Franklin and Moses that they only have like a 2-inch reach difference.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I don't know how many southpaws Jermaine Franklin has actually fought, but I guess we're going to just see how they keep moving Moses and Tuma. I think eventually, shout outs to Terramona, he got his knockout in the first round. I think eventually, once he builds, I think they're going to try to have him fight Moses and Tuma. After
the heavyweight division is going to be fine. Like it's in a. It may not. It's Usyk put in a healthy state just by putting eyeballs on it again. Now we're in a position to where Usyk is trying to do his retirement tour, and I'm not a fan of fighters declaring retire. I'm only doing X amount of fights with these fighters, and the fans saying they deserve it. The fans saying, there's no one that can beat them. Like we don't know that. That's why we watch the sport.
Do you think? Let me ask you this then. Do you think that Ajit Kabiel would beat Usyk?
He has a chance.
I know a lot of people say that. A lot of people say that.
Everyone says, "Oh, it's the body shot." It's not just the body shots. The body shots he used against the monsters, the Arslanbeks, to break them down. He used the body shots on Arslanbek to take the steam out of his punches. He used the body shots on Frank Sanchez to slow his ass down. He used the body shots on Zhilei Zhang to take the steam out of his punches. Like you go to the body for a reason. You go to the body to stifle something the opponent knows how to do. They're moving too fast, go to the body. If they're faster than you, go to the body. They punching harder than you, go to the body. But he got put on the map when he beat Derek Chisora. When Derek was still a top 10 ranked opponent, when he was still a legitimate contender for the belt, he beat Derek Chisora. And he didn't beat him with body shots. He beat him the way Usyk beat him.
Right. And see, that's the thing, like you said, you got to do certain things. So basically, in essence of what he's saying, y'all, is there is a method to the madness of Ajit Cabiel. It's very well thought out, very well calculated, and like a blueprint. He understands what he's doing before he even does it.
It's like sometimes fans like they get caught up in only what they see and not do their history. You know what I'm saying? Like if you only saw Crawford's run at 147, you're not grasping the entire essence of what all he can do. And we're in an era, it's sad, we're in an era with the most access to information in history, and no one uses it.
Facts. Now, since we talked about Del Boy, let's just talk about the fact that the upcoming fight with the Bronze Bomber, the Alabama Slammer, till this day, Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder. So, what do you feel about that matchup, man? And prediction.
Not off of skill set, but just personality and career trajectory. I call Deontay Wilder the modern day Larry Holmes. And people get mad when I say that. No, not because of skill set. We all know if they fought one-on-one, Larry would beat the brakes off of Deontay within like 6-7 rounds. No. Y'all don't remember Larry Holmes' famous soundbite? Rocky Marciano couldn't hold my jock strap.
Yeah.
Or his situation with Trevor Berry. That man assaulted me. Man. He attacked me. And then you see some Larry Holmes do a drop kick.
Drop kick off a vehicle? Yeah, man. That was wild.
Larry was a fool. I wish Larry was around during now, the social media era. He'd be so big.
Oh my God, he would be viral. Oh my goodness.
Not because of how he fight, but just his sound bites alone.
Facts.
Or when he said, let's just face facts. If Jerry Cooney was a brother, there wouldn't be no Who Shot John about all this right
now. Shout outs to Sweet Jones, Zone 15, my cousin. Sweet Jones, thanks for pulling up.
I want your sword to win.
Oh, you say you want your sword to win?
Yeah, because Deontay need to give it up.
Yeah, I mean, and this is supposed to be Chisora's 50th and last fight. So, I mean, it's like he has nothing to lose. You know what I'm saying? So I can see him just being the Chisora we know. Like
Chisora doesn't have to worry about a beer or a meal in England for the rest of his life, and he never won a world championship. So he is respected and applauded and deserves all his flowers. That man fought he fought Vitaly. He fought AJ. He fought Dillian. He fought Aji, Usyk, now Wilder, Parker. Hey, dude, he's fought everybody that matters.
I'll read a couple of these little chats. He said, Wilder probably going to win. I think Chisora going to take a dive for the kid. Laughing emoji. Him and Wilder really buddies. Well, I mean, they try to say it was a dive back in the day when he fought Malik Scott. They try to say that Malik
Scott just don't got a chin.
But
Malik just don't got a chin.
Because didn't Chisora knock out Malik Scott too, or stop him?
Yeah, that was just Malik was on his way up. And when he fought Chisora, that was supposed to be like a big, the best heavyweight prospect out of America versus the best heavyweight prospect out of England. And he got starched. And then he fought Wilder, got starched. And then when he fought a old faded Tony Thompson, he got tapped on the temple and fell down like life alert. So he just never had good punch resistance.
Right.
And if you're a heavyweight and you don't have at least average punch resistance, you're not gonna go far.
Okay. Mr. Pennant said there is a lot much more better quality of heavyweights now than in Klitschko's era. I agree. I agree. There's definitely a more variety of now of heavyweights than it was in the Klitschko era because they definitely ran it.
Yeah,
Like
you had Povetkin,
Big Sam
Ruslan
Peter,
Chagayev, you had
uh,
Timur Ibragimov, you had Samuel Peters, you had
Big
Jamil
Sam.
McCline, Chris
Um,
Bird,
what's his name? I'm thinking of, on my mind. The one. Let's go, champ. I can't think of his name.
Shannon Briggs,
Shannon Briggs,
Devero Williamson,
uh,
Sergey Lachovic. You had
Lamont Brewster.
Layman Brewster.
Lamont Brewster, yep.
You had Lamont Brewster. Andrew Gallardo still around. Holyfield.
Yeah, towards his end, and Ray Mercer towards
Fun
the end of
fact,
his career.
Vitali turned down the Holyfield fight.
That's deep. See?
He said
I didn't know that.
he even told Holyfield called him out at a WBC convention and said, "How come you didn't fight me in 2000? How come you ain't fight me in 2002? How come you ain't fight me, man? That would have been great." He said, "You my hero. I love you more than I love you. I don't like Lennox."
So he was like a Linux the lion. Shout outs to Graham Cook over in the UK, man. What's going on,
Shout
mate?
out, what's up, Graham?
Okay, so we talked about Moses Tuma, Jermaine Franklin. On that undercard is Ezra Taylor versus in the light heavyweight division. Ezra Taylor versus Willie Hutchison. What's your prediction or
I like
assessment?
Willie. I actually like Willie. Willie's decent. I don't think Willie can go far, but I just like his style.
Do you think his experience is going to give him the edge over Ezra Taylor, or you think Ezra Taylor can?
I think depending on who wins this, they're gonna feed him to Ben. I think Eddie Hearn is seeing Ben Whitaker as his cash cow move forward. I really think he's trying to set up Ben Whitaker with one of the vacant titles that pops up at 175. And he'll just use Willie or Ezra to do it.
Right. Mr. Pennant, you said Moses and Tuma versus Ja Apataya would be a good future fight. I wonder, did Ja ever say he would go up to heavyweight? Did he ever say that he would?
Well, he's interested. He said he would go up to heavyweight to try and fight Usyk, but I think with Usyk giving his 3-fight farewell tour, Josh is trying to help. I really think he's trying to figure out what the fuck's going on with him in the IBF.
Right, with the Zuffa situation, and yeah. I was gonna bring up Ja. Actually, I had him. It's funny that somebody mentioned him. Mr. Pennant, thanks for mentioning Ja Pataya. So, do you think Ja Pataya is like the boogeyman of cruiserweights?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's one of those guys. Sadly, he's one of those guys where he had to be mandatory to get a belt because no one's gonna just voluntarily fight him. So when you're a fighter that's like that and you win the belt, how he won it, guys ain't trying to fight you like that. Notice his opposition are all like his opposition is what Andre's opposition was when he was champion at 160. Like when none of the big names want to say your name, you got to fight who says yes. Because sometimes when you're just saying yes to whoever, just to stay active, not everybody's gonna know who they are. And in America, it's all about I don't know who that is.
Right. Which I mean, what was that last fight when he fought Brandon Glanton? What was that at again?
Oh, he made Marcus Brown quit in Nigeria.
Okay, so he made him quit over there, and then he fought the last fight with Brandon Glanton, the Zuffa fight. Was that over here in America, right?
Oh no! I'm sorry. Glanton fought in Nigeria. Glanton fought in Nigeria before he fought Jai Apatai. Jai was in New Zealand.
Okay, so the fight that they just had, was that one in New Zealand?
No, Apatai versus Glanton was in the Apex Center. So the thing about the UFC is that the training facility It's a multi-building, multi-purpose sports facility. There's a indoor basketball gym, indoor tennis court, full ring boxing, full MMA cage, full wrestling mats, BJJ mats, state of the art body workout equipment. There's nutritionists on deck. There's food you can get, dorms to sleep at, medical staff available. They have a oxygenized chamber. They got a hyperbolic chamber for the so that way for the like high altitude training. They got it's a one-stop shop. They even got a 5,000 seat arena on the facility.
Oh wow.
So like when the super fights get announced, pretty much you can just go there, train the whole camp, stay in Vegas and fight there. Like you don't have to travel late or anything. It's perfect if you need to save money. Zuffa's perfect if you need to save money and if you need consistent dates and a direct shot to some type of title.
Yeah. Now that you said that makes sense. Yeah.
But
So
what's up?
No, I just want to say, as far as Ezra Taylor, I mean, if he does what he needs to do, he'll be 14-0 because he's 13-0 now. 69% knockout ratio, but hey, Willie Hutchinson has a 73% knockout ratio. So I mean,
both guys aren't shy of cracking. Both guys probably gonna. These might be. If I hit you, I gotta hit you back. No, if you hit me, I gotta hit you back. Mentality fight that always makes the best fights.
Okay, you got a response down here. Mr. Pennant said, "Do you think Zuffa boxing will get bigger?"
I'll answer this question with another question. Do you think the WBO was formed in 1988? The WBO was the last sanctioning body to be formed after the IBF in 1986. So, do you think the WBO thought it would take them 30 years to become internationally sanctioned in boxing? Because they didn't become internationally sanctioned until 2008 when the whole world recognized them as a world championship body. If you were the WBO champion up until 2008, Japan did not recognize that title at all. Like you can look up Fernando Montiel, WBO champion, versus Sumi Hasagawa, WBC champion, and it was just for one belt.
Oh, so it took three decades just to get globally, internationally. Oh wow.
Think about it. When people don't know this either. When Hearns and Leonard fought a second time, that was originally a unification for the WBO and the WBC. But people were banning the WBO because of the apartheid in South Africa. So they weren't even recognizing it because of that. So same thing, like when Ray Mercer won the WBO belt from Tommy Morrison, I think it was Nevada. Like someone didn't recognize that belt, and he couldn't even fight Larry Holmes with it. He had to vacate it just to fight Larry Holmes. So I don't think Zuffa's understanding just how petty and gatekeeping the boxing community can be as far as new people come in. The only reason the IBF got away with it, they literally told Larry Holmes, you only got to do one fight a year, and we only want 10% for sanctioning fees. So Larry Holmes said, okay, here, WBC, take your belt back. I'll be the new IBF champion. They did the same thing with Aaron Pryor. That was the only reason IBF became recognized. They literally gave their titles to Larry Holmes and Aaron Pryor, which immediately made them the top because they was the number one. They were the best fighters in their division.
That's deep.
That's what Zuffa was trying to do. Zuffa was trying to do the same thing by getting Apatai and like, yeah, first fight, you're going to be our champion. But IBF said, fuck y'all think y'all going to use our recognition to boost y'all credibility.
Okay, Mr. Penner said, can you imagine sanctioning bodies merged and became one company, also one belt? Yeah, but that pretty much probably never will happen in boxing. I can't ever see that happen.
We came close twice. 1999, WBC loses a lawsuit against Graciano Rashigani for $57 million.
Mm.
And they didn't have it. So they're going to file Chapter 11. The WBO and Bob Arum said that any fighters under the WBC, we will immediately accept them in our rankings. And then Bob even said that he would help the WBC reorganize to form a new championship to keep boxing alive. So even though there would have been no WBC, there would have been something in its place. Fast forward to the Michael Fox, Sabril Matias situation, and the American Boxing Commission gets involved and literally tries to force the WBA get rid of their regular titles or we will desanctionize you. It still didn't happen. We still got regular titles. So no, there will never be a merging of the sanctioning bodies. Because think about it. The WBC collected two championship fees in one night. And one was for an interim belt. They took fees from Lester Martinez and Aleem and fees from Ammo Williamson and Adames. So no, it's not getting rid of. No.
Okay, well, we're gonna move on to the next subject because we got quite a bit still to talk about. So, rumors of Boots Ennis versus Xander Zayas fight
New York
on June 6th. If it does happen, I'm pulling for Boots, but in my heart, I feel it'd be kind of like a 55-45, but I'm leaning towards Boots. What you think?
It's going to be interesting to see how Zayas deals with this because most of the opponents Zayas had to fight were right in front of him. What you saw is what you got, pretty much.
Right.
Boots is special.
He is special.
And people don't want to say it yet because we want to see him do it against the names.
Right.
Boots swims without getting wet.
I like that. Yeah. I like that, man. I like that. I like that analogy, man.
Boots swims without getting wet. You don't need a radar to find him. You need a metal detector. A radar is for the whole thing. He's right there. He ain't running from you. He ain't even slipping and sliding. He just knows the angles to move his head and maneuver around. You know, he reminds me of a healthy James Toney. If James Toney was always, but I don't blame James Toney for his health because he actually had a pituitary gland disorder.
Yeah, I think I heard that. Yeah.
And if you know about how your pituitary gland, it affects your mood, your weight, it affects
like
your
thyroid, like having a thyroid issue.
Yeah. So it affected his metabolism really bad. It affects your weight, mood, metabolism, and it affects a lot of different things and energy. So there were times where you would see like, damn, why James Toney looks so lethargic? It's because he had a pituitary gland issue, but he was a 200-pound man. 200-plus pound man squeezing down to 160, 168. Hell, they wanted to go down to 154. So I see Boots as a in shape James Toney. If James was always in shape, it's Boots.
For sure, man. For sure. So let us know what y'all think in the chat. What y'all think about Boots Ennis versus Xander Zayas. Let me know y'all opinions as well.
And here's the sad thing about Boots. If he makes it look too easy, he won't get credit.
He won't get credit. Yeah.
If it's too tough, he won't get credit.
Yeah, that's true, man.
And like so what's the happy medium? What y'all what do y'all want him to see? What do y'all want to see then? Because if he finishes them off in 3-4 rounds, Zayas is never that good. But if it's a split decision, even though it might be fight of the year, they'll be like, oh man, he going toe to toe with a guy like that. The modern day boxing fandom.
Then they're gonna say Boots is overrated. Yeah,
frustrates me to no end. It really frustrates me.
Yeah, it definitely frustrating, man. Okay, like I said, we got quite a bit to cover. So, women's boxing: Carolyn Dubois, 12-0-1, one draw, versus Terry Harper, 16-2-2. Both UK ladies out of UK. And Terry Harper, I believe, lost against Alicia Bumgarner. And we all want to see Alicia Bumgarner eventually fight Carolyn Dubois. So it's a good triangle. What do you think about this fight? Carolyn Dubois, Terry Harper.
Carolyn's up next.
Man, she's dangerous, bro. I seen that
And
latest.
then there's another
Oh
chick
my god.
from then there's another chick. I think she's from Sweden or something
Mm,
like that. She's undefeated. She won, I think, a silver or a gold, and she's undefeated. She's nice. I can't think of her name right now, but she's nice. So there's a couple chicks that are next up, and it just sucks that probably by the time they get to star potential, Clarissa will be gone.
right, exactly. Exactly. And it's just so unfortunate that the way Clarissa has moved up and now she's at a bigger weight class, that all the action would happen to be with
And
Carolyn
she's
Dubois,
older.
Lisa
What is she's in her
Baumgartner,
30s now?
Kayla Meyer, and all the smaller ladies, Katie Taylor. You know what I'm saying? So it's never going to ever happen. She'll never fight them because she's too much. She's too big. She's never going to be able to. Now she could fight Shadeja Green. Everybody wants to see Shadeja Green and
Yeah.
Clarissa. Just that's about the only person out there.
Gabriella too. You right, CJ. You right, CJ. Gabriella too. She's nice. And you know what's
Oh
funny?
yeah, yeah, Gab
That
Fandor,
proves
yeah,
my theory. Younger
Gabby, yeah.
siblings in boxing are always better than the older sibling.
Man, and that's what it seems like because Carolyn is better than Daniel. She's more responsible defensively. She don't just take crazy hits just to get hit.
You know
She
the Darrell
actually,
twins.
yep,
Anthony being better than Andre.
yep, the derails. Yep.
The Smiths.
Now is David Benavidez younger than his
Yeah,
brother?
that's the younger brother to Jose.
Okay, yeah, yep. So yeah, shout
Bam
out to my guy.
Rodriguez, younger brother to Joshua Franco. Joshua Franco world champion, but Bam is more well known.
Hey, I agree in the chat, man. Shields definitely needs to drop down in weight to make some good fights. I mean, I know it was her and Michaela Mayer kind of talked a little bit about a catch weight, but I don't know because
If she
Michaela, like
cares
you
about her
said,
legacy as much as she said she does, she'll try and make some catch weights happen. I only agree in catch weights when you need to like preserve your legacy, so to say.
right? Yeah,
When you really need to make a fight happen to prove that you are what you are.
that you are what you are. Yep, that makes so much sense, man. That makes so much sense. Now speaking of her potential op, Alicia Baumgartner out of from
AB.
here from my state of Ohio, up north in Fremont, 17-1, no one loss, no draws, versus Boo Mi Wei Shin, Asian fighter out of Korea, 19-3-3. Now that Boo Mi Wei Shin, she looked good against Carolyn Dubois. They was in a dogfight when they fought
Oh,
back
that's
in
the
the
thing
day.
about them Koreans. Them Koreans, they don't
She's
play
tough,
around.
man.
They're built like the difference between
She
Japanese
made
and Korean
Carolyn
fighters.
work.
The Japanese fighters are they generally carry a little bit more power than the Korean fighters do. Korean fighters are pretty much life or death because you know that Ray Mancini fight, Soo Duk-won, that was a Korean. That wasn't a Japanese. That was a Korean. The Koreans are more life and death than the Japanese are for some reason.
Yeah, man. This ain't gonna be no easy fight for Alicia Baumgartner. She's gonna have to dig deep because
Alicia might get upset.
I mean this girl coming to fight, man. She's coming to fight, and she got a chin. She can take a punch. She was taking some bombs from Carolyn Dubois, so she better know that she can't overlook her. She better not overlook this opponent because
Yeah, in an interview one time, they asked Eric Morales who was the toughest fighters he ever fought, and he said this dude named Injin Chi. It felt like I was hitting steel for 12 rounds.
wow.
And Morales could crack. Morales was known to crack.
Mm, 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 mm. All right, man. We still got quite a bit, so I'm gonna keep moving because I'm looking at this like, whoa, I got all this down here. So we got David Benavidez versus Zerto Ramirez at cruiserweight.
I like it. I want David to win because David will fight Jai.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. He don't fight
Zerto
anybody. That's one thing I like about him.
Zerto said, I don't even know who Jai is. Fuck you. You know who Jai is. Don't
Exactly. He
know
just
champion, don't know about the other champions in their division. Stop
right. He just saying that because he's trying to find a reason
You just
to
mad because you was
weasel
hoping
out of it.
nobody said his name. That's what it was. You was hoping nobody
Yeah.
mentioned his name
Exactly.
around.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what it was.
Rolly did the same thing to his mandatory. They asked Rolly, "Are you going to fight your mandatory Chakram Giasoff?" Who? I don't even know who that is. It don't matter. That's your mandatory.
Let me read this chat. He said, Two-Tone be tripping me out when he say Alicia the face of women boxing.
No, that's Clarissa. Clarissa is literally one of only 5 boxers that an average fan knows. Casual people, not even non-boxing people know who Clarissa Shields is.
Right. Yeah.
That's how you know you're the face. When people that don't even watch what you do know who you are
Know who you
and
are.
what you do, that's a superstar.
Facts. Facts, man.
Oscar was a superstar.
Oh yeah. How much time do you have left? Do you have
as much as you need?
Okay, maybe about an hour, if that.
Okay.
Okay. Main event. On Netflix. Tyson Fury versus Arslanbek Makhmudov. April 11th, 2026, at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London, UK. What do you think about that one?
That's a dangerous fight for Fury.
Okay.
We ain't seen you in a minute. You don't really do well with leisure time.
Right, yeah.
You slowing down bad. Tyson's one of those guys where I call him the modern day Riddick Bowe for a reason. He self-inflicted his own career decline due to poor personal decisions and lack of motivation.
Right.
Bowe didn't have a drug or drinking problem. He had a refrigerator problem.
Right.
Bowe always said, I ain't drinking. I ain't chasing girls. I don't want no dope. I just want a third slice of cake.
Right. Right. Yeah, man. That definitely always, man. It's a shame when you have these guys with all that potential, man, and it's something there that some type of vice, whether like you said, whether it's food or whether it's just eating too much or whether it's the
drugs, alcohol, women.
Yeah, just so many different distractions that disrupt the potential greatness of somebody. Because I think if Tyson Fury could lock down and stay, I mean, he doesn't have much longer in his career, but if he could just stay consistent, if they can give him like a couple of fight deals where he knows he's going to be fighting on a schedule,
the two things that made him special, he don't got no more. His footwork is now average. His chin is now average. His chin and his footwork is what made him all-time great because you couldn't find him. And even if you found him, he wasn't going nowhere.
So do you think that he's going to apply pressure like he tried to with Wilder in the rematch and Francis?
That's the only way he can fight now. Only way he can fight now is one way, going right at you.
Right. Which makes him more susceptible to getting clipped. And he's fighting somebody like Arslanbek Makhmudov, who's a strong Russian. To be wrestling bears and stuff. Yeah, I can see it being a little problem.
If this happened 3 years ago, 4 years ago, Fury, because he still had the dimensions to beat him. Now he don't got those same dimensions. You need to be able to go inside and out. Hell, Arslanbek lost to Guido. You know what I'm saying? The Italian heavyweight, and he just used the same thing that Ajit did. He went body head, and stayed out of range. But Fury don't got the legs to get out of range no more.
Yeah, man. You make a great point, man. It's like I feel like if Arslanbek Makhmudov is being smart he's gonna take a he's gonna take a page out of what Adjecabio did to him and go to the body of
Go
Fury
to the body.
because he got all that body there, and you know he's gonna move his head. He's slick like that, but that body's always there. Go to the body, bro. Start digging into that body.
Two things I would do if I was Arslan Beck. And call me what you want, but when I was competing, I was a very rough, borderline mean fighter. You got to go to the body, and when you hold, you got to throw him down. Get the warning. Throw him down. You got to make him feel old. Make them legs feel weak. You know what I'm saying? Make him work harder than he wants to earlier in the fight, so that way he catches the second win faster than he wants to, and then he's gassed out by the end. You got to make him feel like an old fat man.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Use those advantages. Smart. Because at the end of the day, boxing is too is get away with what you can when you can. You know, Fury learned that. You know, when he fought Wilder, he didn't just beat him based on just being better boxer, but he used the weight. I'm gonna lean on this man. I'm gonna make his legs weak.
Like if I was Rolly fighting Tank, I'd have been as rough as the ref would allow me to be rough. I would have been dirty, nasty, ugly, whatever I gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd have been throwing
judo. Use your judo and throwing.
I'd have been pushing, shoving, hitting on the brake, hitting on the hip, stepping on his toe. I'd be, son. If I gotta tell you again, all right. But yeah, what?
Yeah, man, for sure. So let me know what y'all think in the chat, y'all. Arslan Magmadov versus Tyson Fury. Let me know y'all predictions in the chat as well, or the comment section. Okay. So on that undercard, Conor Ben versus Regis Prograis on Netflix.
It's either an upset, exciting upset, or a lackluster unanimous decision. Either way. Either both guys are in there trying not to get hurt, so they're not engaging, or someone's going to go in there and put out.
And I think this is
and they both have if you hit me, I got to hit you back mindset. So once they start, they're good going. But that's if they start, because Conor's trying to get a title shot, and Regis may be trying to catapult this into a third title opportunity.
Right. And Prograis said he ain't tripping. He said, I'm not tripping on his power, his punch power. He said, I'm going to whip him. So, I mean, Regis, you know, he sounds very, I don't think he's capping. I don't think that he's saying it just to say it. I think he really believes he can beat Conor. He said, I don't think too much of him. So, I mean,
because Conor's game is Regis' game.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I can't wait, man. I think it's going to be a decent little scrap, though. You know, decent little scrap right there. Because
I'm
they
not
both
a fan of Conor trying to go to
one.
I'm not a fan of Conor trying to go to 147 either.
Right. I thought it was something weird. I would have to probably look on Google. Was it supposed to be like crazy, like a 150 or something crazy?
It's one. Yeah, it's at 150.
Yeah, it's kind of weird like that, like 150.
Yeah, so Regis went up 10 and Conor went down 10.
Well, I mean, Regis said this is what Regis claimed. Let me know what you think. He said he been talking to Bud Crawford. He said Bud Crawford said that when he went up from being smaller, was technically it was three weight classes, even though he fought Madrimov one time at 54. But when he fought Canelo, he said he took punches better. But when he got hurt by Gamboa, it's because he was smaller. So if he's not shrinking down and by Regis moving up, you think Regis is going to take the punches better of Conor Ben?
I don't think Regis ever really had a problem with punch resistance, in my opinion. He always took punches fairly well. Remember, he fought a prime Josh Taylor. And that was Josh Taylor's whole game, was his selective power, was his accuracy and power shots is what made Josh Taylor accurate. And he didn't even, and Josh Taylor had the messed up eye, not Regis.
Right.
Regis fought Zepeda, and Zepeda was coming off of Fight of the Year with Baranchik, and Regis fucked him up. So Regis don't. If you fight Regis at his level, that's he's not gonna really take a lot of punishment. But if you fight him inside outside, like what Devin do, it's a different story.
Okay, well, let's talk a little bit since we talked about Zepeda, a little bit about Shakur Stevenson since he did what he did with Zepeda a while back and really tried to put people on
Oh, I
notice.
was mentioning another Zepeda.
Oh, okay, I got you. Well, I'm gonna
Yeah,
still talk about
William
Shakur because
Steele. Yeah,
I wanted to talk about.
this
Yeah,
mini
I want
4-man tournament is what I'm calling it of Peta versus
to.
Lamont and Tank versus Pitbull. I'm calling that like a 4-man
Mm,
tournament because the winner of those
okay.
two is going to fight each other.
Right. Now, something I talked about on another podcast, I want to bring it to your attention. So, what do you feel? Okay, the fine disparity. We know that Keyshawn Davis and Shakur said they're brothers, so they're not going to ever fight each other. But with the disparity of seeing how Keyshawn was able to stop Jermaine Ortiz, not only did he hurt him, but when he hurt him, he went in there and sensed the hurt and finished him. If Shakur fought Jermaine Ortiz, do you think he could stop him in the same fashion that Keyshawn did? I personally think that he would just go to 12 rounds because he's so defensive minded. He never wants to go once he sees blood like a shark. He never just goes crazy. He just kind
You
of like,
said you said if Shakur fought Jermaine,
yep, but he had finished him the same way that Keyshawn
no,
did. Because I don't think he
no,
has that killer instinct. He don't have that switch, in my
no,
opinion.
and you gotta remember Jermaine don't mind putting out if he's going up against a counter punch because he's a counter puncher himself, and so if he's fighting another counter puncher, Jermaine will put out. Shakur won't put out. Shakur's just
Right.
gonna fight his style the whole way through. In my opinion, Shakur, I broke it down perfectly in a message in a post about Shakur, how I felt about Shakur, and it was that he mentioned he doesn't like getting hit with isn't and I say I think it's deeper than that. I think he can't maintain his composure when hurt.
I never thought about that. Now that you said that, that's a good analysis.
He fought Jeremiah Nakatina. And he mentioned in that post-fight interview, they said you were being aggressive, y'all got to make some changes, and then after the round was over, you went back to your normal style. What was that? Yeah, he caught me with something crazy. You know what I'm saying? A couple times. I ain't really like how I felt, so let me go back to basics. And I'm like, hold on. That don't sound right. What do you mean? No one likes getting hit.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have the ability to get him out of there, get him out of there.
Right.
But
Yeah.
Shakur's mindset, I think he doesn't get into exchanges because I don't think he'd be able to maintain his composure if he were to get buzzed or seriously hurt.
That makes sense now. Now that you said that, I didn't think about that.
Because
Yeah, that makes
normally
sense.
when guys get popped, sometimes when guys get hit hard, they catch shots. Sometimes guys know I'm going to have to trade with this person at some point. Even Andre Ward says it. I'm going to have. He's even with Sergey. I'm going to have to throw punches with him. I'm not going to be able to hide and duck and cover the whole fight. I'm going to have to throw. Same with Arthur Abraham. Same with Koff. I'm going to have to throw. And I'm going to have to be comfortable with it. Right. I don't think Shakur is.
That makes sense now if you said that. Now,
because and another thing, I know I'm going off, but I'm cooking right now. Here's another thing. When Terrence Crawford and Shakur was having a one conversation in the ring about how when you're stuck on the ropes, what do? Crawford said you find the angle, punch out, find your angle again. So you punch out, hold, punch out, find your angle out, angle back in to catch them angle back in and catch them with a counter shot. And then Shakur said, why wouldn't you just angle completely out of the way?
Okay.
And I'm like, that alone let me realize he's always in survival mode. He's never thinking, let me get you back. Oh, here's my opening. The fact that Crawford said you want to go back in because you have the open angle, and Shakur's like, nah, just go all the way around, out the way.
Right.
completely
Avoid the
reset
whole.
him.
Yeah. Avoid the whole. Yeah. Wow. That's deep. That's deep right there. Y'all hear that?
But like I
So.
said, I watch
Yeah.
every interview I can possibly find about every fighter because they're smart. They're not gonna mention everything in certain interviews. Most of the time,
Mm-hmm.
you get the most out of them when they're having one-on-ones with other fighters in a non-interview setting because they weren't having an interview; they were just in the ring and the camera was rolling. That's when you're gonna get the most in-depth information about the fighter themselves, about how they move, how they tick, how they operate, and everything like that. Because they're not trying to put
Okay.
up any type of farce or a face or, pride is out of the way because they're with their own warriors or gladiators. But once what they consider a civilian like us, once we come around, now it's who's macho and stuff like that, or nah, he ain't really doing anything to bother me. He ain't got nothing. You know what I'm saying? So because if I was
Mm-hmm.
an interview person interviewing these fighters, they told me he ain't got nothing for me. So you willingly took a one-sided fight? Why are we showing up to this thing?
Right.
I'd
Exactly.
get kicked out for talking like that because now I'm being difficult. But I'm just
Right.
using your own logic against you. You literally said he got nothing for you. You ain't worried about nothing whatsoever. Okay, so this is a one-sided fight. You signed on for a one-sided fight.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Make it make sense. Yeah. That's for sure.
So you want
Well.
us to get excited for you dominating this person? No. Because another
Exactly.
thing, they asked Terrence Crawford and Shakur Stevenson, name your Mount Rushmore fights. Crawford said Ward Gaddy. He said uh Israel Marquez and Israel Vasquez and Rafael Marquez. He said Salio and Juanma. He said Holyfield and Bo. Shakur said Floyd versus Gotti, Tony versus Barkley, Leonard versus Duran 2. And I'm like, one-sided beatdowns are your favorite fights.
Man, that's deep.
And even
That's some deep
Shakur mentioned,
perspective.
all you
That's
mentioned
some deep.
is wars, bro. It ain't no skill. All these wars. And Stevenson and then Terrence looked at him like, we remember those, bro. What are you talking about? We put on Maidana versus Mayweather before we put on Mayweather versus Gotti.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
man.
that alone should let you know Shakur is never going, unless he's forced into a fight, he's never going to give us one. Unless
Right.
he's forced into a war, he's never going to give us one. Unless he's forced to stop an opponent, he's not going to do it.
Right. Man, that's a very good analysis and good perspective on that. Now, speaking of that, since we're talking about Shakur and Keyshawn a little bit, I'm gonna still bring Keyshawn back into the mix of it, but the nice performance we've seen with Nahir Albright and Frank Martin, because I like Frank Martin, but Nahir Albright really started to turn on later in that fight. Um, and the potential, I seen Nahir Albright's page on Facebook. I don't know if I showed you that, but he made a post and he had Shakur, him and not Shakur, him and Keyshawn Davis, as if it's a potential fight that he would want. If that fight
Here's the
happened,
only person to make Keyshawn look human.
I mean, a rematch because the first fight he didn't lay down for Keyshawn the
Yeah,
first
I said,
time.
like, yeah, here's the only person to really make Keyshawn look beatable.
Facts,
Like
facts.
he was trying to take advantage of Keyshawn's every time Keyshawn thought he was safe, Nahir remind him, no, you're not safe. You got to keep adjusting.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Mm-hmm.
gonna have to work a lot harder to look how you want to look against me.
Exactly. That'd be perfect at 140, man. Because even if they fight next, then Frank Martin could fight one of them next after that. Because it was a draw with him and Albright, I want to say. So
No
I can't remember.
contest.
Oh, no contest. Yeah. So
Yeah,
hey, run
Keyshawn
it back.
pop. Yeah, Keyshawn for marijuana.
Oh no, I'm talking about my bad. I was saying uh Keyshawn, not Keyshawn, but
Oh,
Frank Martin
Frank and
and
Frank and
Nahir.
Nahir.
Yeah, Nahir. That was a draw, right?
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
a really good fight. That was a really
that was
good
a good
fight.
fight. That was a banger, man. So, but
Frank's
that whole
gotten
crowd
better. I
was,
ain't know Frank.
yeah.
I ain't think Frank was going to get that. I wasn't even a fan of Frank when he fought Tank because he wasn't punching like that. And
Yeah.
now he look like he done found some power in his older age.
I think Buddy McGirt really helped him sit down.
Well,
You
here's
know,
the thing: he's not moving as much, so I think he's sitting down on shots more.
Yep, sitting on shots more. Yep. Yeah, Buddy McGirt. I think he's a good guy for him, man, to get him in there mentally.
People forget Buddy fought Purnell twice. Buddy's a 2-division champion with 50 fights.
Yeah, man. So that's what's up, man. Yeah, I look forward to seeing some. And another triangle, since we're talking about triangle, is with Devin Haney, of course, in the back and forth with Ryan Garcia. Is it going to be next, or is it going to be Rolly Romero versus Devin Haney?
It's Rolly and Devin.
I don't think he would, but Haney definitely can't overlook Rolly because they talking about like, well, at least his dad, Bill Haney. Oh, we're gonna crush him. We're gonna walk through him. Like, man, don't think Rolly no pushover like that, y'all. Don't be thinking Rolly's no pushover like that.
Devin's gonna fight Rolly how he fought Regis. All outside. No, he didn't even hold Regis. Because Regis won't allow you to hold him.
Right.
And so Devin's not gonna remember how Devin was holding and turning Brian when he got too close. Can't do that with Rolly. Rolly too strong. Rolly got that judo background.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna just pop, move, pop, move all night.
Yeah.
He's not even gonna. If Rolly does get too close, he gonna pretty much hug Rolly, like hug, like tie him up all the way. Like, come here, give me a kiss.
Yeah, man.
Ryan's like Shakur. Ryan, I don't say Devin's like Shakur. Devin will put out if he has to, but he don't care how he look. Like him and Shakur, they don't care how they look if they get a win. A win's a win. They don't care how they look.
True.
But Devin will put out. Shakur won't. I say like Devin will sell out his style for a win if he has to. Right. Shakur won't.
Exactly, and Devin will at least drop his opponent. He did drop Regis Prograis. He did drop Brian Norman Jr. So he may drop you. He just don't really.
I jumped out my seat.
Capitalize on it.
I jumped off the couch when he dropped Brian. I literally jumped off the couch like I was at the fight live. I'm like, oh! I don't think anyone expected that. I don't think anyone expected that to happen.
Hey, no, definitely didn't, man. Definitely didn't.
I thought he could have stopped Brian.
Right, exactly.
I thought he could have stopped him if he put more punches together.
Exactly, brother. Well, we still got a good about 40 minutes left, so
yeah,
we got a couple more things to talk about. Okay, light middleweight division from last night. The young up and coming out of Orlando, Florida, USA. OJ, Amari Jones, 6 wins. Now 6 wins. 4 by KO, no draws. And Christian Gomez, 23-7-1 now, with a 91% KO ratio. What do you think about that fight, man?
I never saw OJ before. Never heard of OJ before. That's my bad, OJ. But I'm gonna be following him until the wheels fall off.
Yeah,
like how I'm following Najee Lopez. I followed Lamont for a minute too. Even though I wasn't a fan of Lamont, I was very aware of Lamont Roach. Like Delonte Tiger Jones. I've been following him for a while. So he's on my list of guys.
Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio, up north.
Oh, he is?
Yep.
Oh, represent Ohio running boxing still, yeah. Delonte is my dark horse to be a champion soon. I don't think anyone's because he's top 10 ranked right now. So I don't think, and no one's been talking about Delonte like that. No one ever mentions his name.
Yep, exactly. It would be cool. I don't know if it's going to happen. We talked about this on the Ohio Runs Boxing platform yesterday when I was with Cam J, Marcus from Youngstown, Ohio. Is that Tiger Johnson? They have a backstory of the altercation that happened with him and Devin Haney and Bill Haney, where that big little skirmish happened or whatever. So man, if they can use that as their publicity, man, to push for a fight with them two, Tiger Johnson versus Haney, man, at 147. Man,
that'd be a good fight.
Be a good fight for sure.
But yeah, I like Omari Jones. I like OJ. He's nice. I think his style translates more to the pros than the amateurs just due to his athleticism.
For sure. And hey, if y'all late coming in here, hit that thumbs up. Share this on Twitter, whatever social media you're on.
Comment, like,
TikTok,
subscribe.
comment, like, subscribe. Just make sure you share. And if you don't catch this live today, run it back later tonight. Run it back this week. We still need y'all to tune in and hit the thumbs up as you come in, even if you run the show back. All right,
All views matter.
All views matter. Now, on that same card, middleweight title fight. Carlos Adames versus Austin Ammo Williams.
Ammo needs to leave his dad right now. He needs to fire his dad and needs to get a new trainer. He either needs to go to Buddy or Kevin Cunningham or Bonzi.
Oh yeah. Kev Cunningham, he had Adrian Broner for a minute, didn't he?
Kevin Cunningham made his name through Devin Alexander and Adrian Broner. Did some stuff with Lamont Peterson, Kendall Holt. Yeah, a lot of fighters. Even Erickson Lubin used Kevin Cunningham for a couple fights. A lot of people don't stick with Kevin because he's a drill sergeant coach. Like you can't leave the facility after 9. Like no guests. Like food is like your diet is on the calendar. This is it. There's no it's very, very strict training camps. There's no leeway in it whatsoever. So a lot of fighters don't stay with him.
Yeah, man, for sure, man.
He's like Teddy Atlas.
Because what was that, like the first round he gets dropped? Or was that round 2 when
second round he gets dropped by a double right hand.
Yeah, I'm like, ooh-wee.
The first shot froze him. Then he got caught trying to throw a left while getting caught with a right. So that was more of an unbalanced knockdown than an actual hurt knockdown.
Right.
But that just showed you just got caught with a shot. Then you're not gonna try and change angles, cover up, or hold. You're gonna try and throw a shot immediately after getting caught while in range of getting punched. So yeah, he needs to. He's only 29. It's not over for him.
Right.
So he can still. He needs to fire his dad, switch coaches, have another 2-3 fights to build up a new style, or add on to what he had, because he really needs to. His feet are so bad. He got his foot placement is so bad.
Yeah. As a southpaw, it's almost like he's right in the line of fire. He's right in the line of fire for Carlos Adames up against the ropes, and when he was, in the center, he was right in the line of fire for that right hand.
You don't need a radar to find him. He don't got blitzkrieg fast hands like that. He ain't got power like that.
Exactly.
He's like a average fighter across the board. He does nothing bad, but does everything good enough. So when you have a fighter like that, okay, what can we make better? What we can do is give you some better feet.
Exactly.
Because if you have proper foot placement, then you will be out of the way of certain shots. You'll be able to retaliate with your own shots back. You'll be able to get out of danger. He just needs to get with someone that can teach him better foot placement, better footwork.
Yeah.
A more solid defense.
Yeah. Definitely, man.
So I think he need to go to Bonzi. Look what Bonzi did for Jack.
Yeah, he gotta. Like you say, he's still young. That's a good part. So he got time to get it all figured out.
Hey, Carlos wants Hamza at 168. He said they should have gave me that. They know what they were doing, so he want Hamza again.
Okay, that's what's up, man. Hamza Shearers. Shout out to these guys. Hey, hopefully it'll happen, man.
I want Adames Laura next, just personally.
There's so many different moving pieces and so many possibilities and potential fights that could happen. It's like, hey, boxing. People keep saying boxing is dead, and it's like, no, it is not at all. You just have to be.
Even when people said boxing was dead, it wasn't dead. Just the guys that y'all wanted to fight weren't fighting each other. Like I said, anything from 135 and under, mainly 130 and under, they all been fighting each other.
Yeah, man. We got a few more topics. Let me see. 1, 2. We got about 3 or 4 more topics. So as far as last night too, I did get to catch some of the Jacob Gomez versus Corey Marksman. That's a banger alert, man. That was a pretty tough fight.
Gomez versus who?
Corey Marksman.
Okay, yeah, I caught that fight. Yeah, that was a banger.
Man, they was getting it in. And then I seen on the back of the shorts of Marksman, Corey Marksman, he had like strap season or something. So I'm like, well, hold on. Is he trying to do like the Earl Spence thing? Is he supposed to be affiliated or something?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Spence was trying to build up a little bit of a stable.
Okay.
While he been away, promoting a little bit.
Oh, okay. That makes sense then.
That's where the money's at in boxing. Promotion.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, bro. All right, so we're gonna jump back to AJ again in heavyweight division. So besides him training with Alexander Usyk and a lot of videos circulating on social media, rumors that AJ may fight Dave Allen or even rematch Dillian White. Who do you think would be a good opponent for AJ to have as a comeback fight and then get ready for Tyson Fury? I would say early 2027. Who would be a good opponent, heavyweight opponent for AJ?
Maybe Zhang.
I like that one. He fought him back in the. He beat him in the amateurs, right? Or was it the amateurs or Olympics?
Yeah. Zhang would be a good fight. No, not Bacoli.
He might be a little too much right now for AJ.
Yeah, not Bacoli. Zhang.
What about what's his name? The winner of Jamie TKV and Richard Riakporhe. Maybe fight the winner.
The winner of who?
Richard Riakporhe and Jamie TKV.
Oh yeah, I think Riakporhe is all right. He's not anything to write home to, in my opinion.
Right. And then Jamie TKV. I mean, I think that'd be a pretty winnable fight for AJ or even Frazier Clark. They definitely
Frazier Clark would be. Yeah, Frazier Clark would be a good one. Yeah, I would rather see AJ versus Clark.
Okay. Well, let me know what y'all think in the chat in the comments. AJ versus who as a potential opponent? Frazier Clark, Dave Allen, Dillian White rematch. What do y'all think? Let me know what y'all think. Okay. And for the last subject, the Pro Box main event, Lester Martinez 20-0-1 of Guatemala versus Emmanuel Aline 22-4-3 of Virginia by way of East Meadow, New York. Super middleweight division fight. What do you feel about that? The Lester Martinez Pro Box main event. That to me was probably, I don't know. I think the Corey Marksman and Gomez fight was a little better, but still, the main event was still pretty good with Lester Martinez and Emmanuel Aline. It was a decent main event.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a stoppage for Martinez, but I don't know if it was a lack of stamina or what, but it turned into a sloppy fight faster than I expected, to be honest.
Right. Yeah, for sure, man. It could have definitely been, you could have tightened it up. on both ends. But I mean, I can say that Aleem was never going away, even though
No.
Lester was catching him with some stuff that you were like, oh, that's a good one. He stood his ground. I think he didn't make adjustments though, and he just kept getting caught by the same stuff over and over and over. It's like he didn't make no small adjustments, even if it's just a couple of small adjustments to come back after
Yeah.
so many rounds and do something different, turn up a little more. Aleem could have been a little bit more busier. He was letting Lester Martinez dictate the pace of the fight, get into a rhythm and all that. Even though, like you said, it got sloppy as it went on because they both looking like they're getting kind of tired and they just, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, Aleem, he could have did more. But conditioning is a big part of boxing. That's another thing. If you're not conditioned, I mean, hey, you're gonna have a long night. You're gonna have a long night. If you're not a conditioned fighter, you're gonna have a long night. That physical condition, the gas tank, you know, you gotta be ready. You gotta be ready.
Yeah. Overall, it was a decent card. Pro Box always puts on some pretty decent cards, but
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
main event left more to be desired.
Yeah, for sure, man. So yeah, brother, I appreciate you coming on, man. We covered quite a bit in about an hour and a half. So we covered some good stuff, man. Um, and we'll be back next Sunday, everybody. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, spread the word at the gym. If you're working out at a boxing gym, your local gym, or whatever, you just around some other people that are boxing fans. You have fight parties at your house. Make sure you tell them about Ring Walk Boxing Podcast. Going live every Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Right
Today
now.
was today was an exception. I went live at 2:30 p.m. because I had family in town in Florida. So I'm about to go get with my family in about an hour. So. But I appreciate everybody who pulled up here and showed their support. And like I said, run this one back. Run it back. Even
Run it
if you're
back,
driving down
folks.
the road, man, what I do, I work Monday through Friday a lot of times. So what I do is I throw in my little earpiece right here and I listen to Cam J Network, Jab Queen, and I put it right in my ear, play it on YouTube, and I listen to it as I'm driving. So even if you're driving, even if you're at work and you're standing around and it's a slow day, or you're just folding up boxes or working on a line, throw that Bluetooth in your ear and check out Ringwalk Boxing Podcast.
Get educated.
Get educated. That's the main thing. Each one teach one. I'm here. I'm learning some new things, and we building here. We sit here and build and talk boxing, man. We're building every episode. So, hey, man, I appreciate you again, man.
I
You know
appreciate you,
that.
dog.
Yep. And if you find out who that one fighter you talked about, you said it was a Sweden female boxer. If you find out her name, send me the information on Messenger or text it to me, either one. Because I think we were talking about Carolyn Dubois and all them. Carolyn Dubois, Alicia Baumgartner, Michaela Mayer, and it was a Sweden fighter you had mentioned. So y'all, hey, I'm gonna see y'all next week, next Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, USA. And y'all all be safe and have a good rest of your day. And I will catch you all on the next round. Peace.